Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Rugby League Outlaws. We hope you didn't miss us too much. I hope everyone had a fantastic Easter.
Terry, it's been an unfortunate week for Rugby League, the game we love.
This has been a very sad
dare I say sad week, yeah. Manly won a football game. Why?
The Inappropriate T-shirt company would like to bring some happiness to this round of Rugby League. And Dan, the big talking point, the happiness, the joy and celebrations.
The Bulldogs scored a point.
And they went wild.
Geez, didn't they celebrate like a grand final? I've never seen
as they
such...
should as well.
Look, they should. As we said, positivity, happiness. I was glad to see it. Didn't start well. No. I thought they were on a hiding. Turns out they were.
Yeah.
But it was never about winning this week. It was about getting points on the board and a couple of tries. Fantastic.
Yeah, look, if their attack looked better, obviously, but
it had to.
Taken 50, but there's positives to come out of this game, Dan. One positive is that the dog season is officially over. After taking 50 points, they can now prepare for 2022.
That's true. They should get you on the PR team.
They should.
I like it. Did you see the Josh Jackson celebration after they scored?
I loved it. Absolutely
punch in the egg. We're only down by 30.
Yeah.
Go the doggies.
Up the dogs. But it was good. I'm all for a football team being a meme, but this was just getting beyond a joke.
It was. I was glad to see. Blowouts though. They continued this week. Everyone's saying it's all the new rules. Like this hasn't happened before. Last year and the year before and the year before. I think it's a bit over the top.
Yeah, look, Penrith blew out the Raiders, and both of those teams are top 4 teams.
Absolutely. Well, the joke going into Friday night was that there was going to be a blowout and a close game.
And there
absolutely was.
Yeah.
The games were just flipped. It's about turning up and being good on the day.
And look, whilst I don't think the rules are perfect, I think we're on a better track. We're getting a better spectacle out of Rugby League. I'm not buying into the injuries and concussions have got a lot to do with the new speed of the game. A lot of it for mine is... some of these HIAs you're seeing are poor tackling techniques. There's no two ways about it. Wade Graham's example, sticks his head in the wrong spot.
Absolutely. And there's a lot of HIAs that... I didn't even notice Dugan's on the weekend. That's the second time he's gone off I hadn't noticed. You had Tedesco bang his head.
Yeah,
and
when
get up and I thought, we might be lucky here. You hate to see it, but if it was anybody, Tedesco's probably the one. And he just played the ball, and it was game on. No one's mentioned it, so it's unfortunate, but I mean, games are going to be blowouts. It's going to be good ones. We saw a good one this afternoon.
All the games this weekend were enjoyable to watch.
They were enjoyable, and that's
especially the first half of that Tigers-Cowboys game. You couldn't wipe the smile off my face.
That was fantastic. Yeah, Watching them boo them off at half time, it made me happy.
After they gave them a standing ovation against the same team.
In the trial match.
Young stars, old stars, Sam Walker, Benji Marshall. Didn't they put on show this weekend?
Mate, you're looking at who I thought was the past and the future. Maybe they're the now. I was really impressed by Sam Walker. I wish it hadn't happened against our team, but it happens. And Benji Marshall's absolutely fantastic.
What you've got to say for Sam Walker is his first 65 minutes were really rough.
They were.
But his try and his passes to his wingers were just incredible.
Look, if you play 65 bad minutes and you win the game off going back in 15 minutes, no one's going to remember the pre 50, 60 minutes.
Yeah, and Benji Marshall, wow.
He's fantastic.
Wow.
They didn't miss Cody Walker at all, and that's saying something.
I mean, if Cody Walker plays, there's probably another 3 tries in that for South. But Cody Walker out, you kind of go, wow. Are the Broncos a chance of it? Absolutely not.
Wayne Bennett, you have to go again. Benji Marshall said there, and the Bulldogs said nah. And the Broncos said nah.
And the Sharks.
And the Sharks
turn the nose up at him.
And South Sydney go, okay, we'll take him on cheap.
Yeah.
And then just put him in, and you got a premiership winning halfback who's an actual premiership winning halfback. Comes in and plays the game of his, I wouldn't say his life, but he's very, very good.
But if you have a look, when South signed Benji Marshall, no one predicted him in their final 17.
No, not at all. You can't
No one had him on the bench to start the season. And Wayne Bennett's got a Euro utility. Comes on, plays in the middle of the field. Yeah. He's incredible.
He's been fantastic. Again, it's the system. Look, unfortunately, we have to go back to the HIAs. Jake Friends retired this week from ongoing concussions. Absolute horror way to end his career. He's fantastic football. I know he cops a lot of flack online, but you ignore that, right?
It's a shame that his last game you're not actually going to remember because he didn't go out on his own terms. I do feel sorry for him. I don't think he's going to be the last one either.
Absolutely not. Well, Ryan Madison missed his 3rd game in a row after being cleared for 3 weeks now, then being uncleared and told he can't play. starting to look a little bit worrisome, especially when you got Liam Knight, who was injured, in the preseason?
Yeah.
Said he woke up with headaches, ignored it, didn't tell anyone, was cleared to play, then mentioned he wasn't feeling well, then they found something. He hasn't played a game this year.
Yeah, Wade Graham as well. He's dusted himself twice in 3 games.
Josh Dugan, 2 weeks in a row.
Dave Riccio put out a tweet today saying that Wade Graham woke up fine, went to the zoo, everything's all right. But it's not the next day you got to worry about. It's the days after when the headaches kick in. So
it's a real worry. I mean, it's good that they're getting on top because how many times this happened in the past that they haven't been taken off and precautions.
Well, you only have to look at James McManus.
It's really bad. Like, it's positive, but unfortunately we are going to see players stop from the game.
But you know, it's all the rave at the moment that everyone wants to talk about it, because a few years ago we're talking about everyone's ACLs.
That's true.
A few years ago we're talking about hamstring injuries and ankle injuries, and syndesmosis was the buzzword. Now it's just HIA. Yeah, we've got to look into it a bit more, and I'm glad they are starting to take it a lot more seriously.
No, absolutely. Terry, time for a brand new segment, mate. Zero Tackles Talking Point.
I like this.
For me, the major talking point revolves around our club, as they normally do. The Craig Fitzgibbon, John Morris conundrum looks like it might finally be coming to a close.
It needs to come to a close. It does. I read the other day that they wanted to have it closed by the end of April. It's too long.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
That's another 3 games. It's another 3 weeks of more headlines, giving these journalists the opportunity to trash bag, whatever they want to do. Get it done, and then figure out what you're going to do with the club for the remainder of the year.
Absolutely right. I wrote on Zero Tackle a couple of days ago that there's no rush to re-sign Morris. I stand by that. I can't see any way moving forward where Morris is our coach anymore. Look, last night's loss against the Roosters pretty much confirmed what we already knew, and I'm not putting it down to that.
I don't think that's a nail in the coffin for John Morris, but I think that there's lots of things that go for and against it, and you and I are going to have a big discussion about this on a separate channel as well. But I definitely think that if you're looking for the future and you're talking about how the Sharks are going to in the next 5 years, and John Morris is going to be coach for the next 5 years, it's just going to be exactly the same.
Exactly.
You're going to fight for that 7th to 8th. You'll be in there, you'll miss. You'll be in there, you'll miss. We need to do something else. You need fresh ideas. People are turning around and saying that Fitzgibbon hasn't had a pedigree or hasn't done anything. He's been at back-to-back premierships. He's learnt off one of the best coaches in the game. He's been around rep setups. He's seen how these professionals train. He's going to bring something different to the club.
He does. While I'm so happy about the possible appointment is a lot of clubs have gone in for him, and he said no.
Yeah. Including the Dragons. He was a Steelers fan as a kid.
Look, the Tigers had him as number 1, I believe, a couple of years ago. The Warriors definitely approached him and he knocked him back. And I think the Bulldogs.
Yeah, the Storm have been sniffing around him. There's talk that the Eels were looking at him when Brad Arthur was up.
That's it. Everyone is saying he's the next cab off the rank.
Yeah,
and if we can get him,
Jason Riles, Cameron Soriato are the next crop of coaches. And he's picked us. This is a big coup for our club.
It's true. It's funny you mentioned Soriato too, because there's rumours that he may come across as an assistant, which adds 2 pretty handy options, I think, and certainly better than what we've got now. As I said before, I feel like we're like this.
Yeah.
And finishing 7th and 8th every year is hilarious. It's great fun. Never miss finals, etc., etc. But you need that spike. Yeah, and I can't see it.
I mean, you can banner off teams when you make the finals, and teams that try to trash you that don't make the finals, you can have a laugh with them, but. You don't want to be 7th or 8th every year. You need to get out of that gap. You need to start pushing for that 3rd, 4th.
Absolutely. Look, and another criticism Morris has been players don't want to play for him, or they're not attracted by him.
Yep.
Like if you go to Ryan Pappenhausen, for instance, and say, "Hey, you want to come play under John Morris?" He's going to say, "Who?
Yeah.
Why? Why would I do that?" Like, no disrespect to him, but I mean, he's come from Craig Bellamy, and you're going to go to John Morris. You know, Fitzgibbon probably doesn't have the high profile, but he's got all this hype.
He's going to have the pulling power as well.
Especially if you add Soriato. I just think it's just really looking good, very positive. I hope it's done. I'm a big fan of Morris, but
the thing for mine is you only have to look at their careers. John Morris played 300 games. That's an outstanding achievement. He's one of about 50 players that have done it. Fitzgibbon didn't get to 300 games. He played 250 odd. Played State of Origin. Played for Australia. He's a premiership winner. He's got that pedigree. He's been around success. Played in multiple grand finals.
Yeah,
he knows how to win. He's a winner. He's going to bring that. He's going to bring the Roosters' winning culture with him.
Ticks a lot of boxes.
Yeah.
Guys, we want to hear what you've got to think in the comments. Hit us up.
Yeah, prize packs.
Price backs coming your way via zero tackle, but for me, Hale Fitzgibbon.
Yeah.
What's annoying Terry?
Chad Townsend. Dan, it's time to talk some footy.
Rugby League.
Let's review some Rugby League. The Rabbits 35, Broncos 6. We already talked him up, but it's the Benji Marshall show.
Was the Benji Marshall show. Didn't miss Cody Walker at all. It was a danger game.
Yeah.
But in reality, this went exactly to plan.
Yeah, and the Rabbits forwards absolutely did their job, but the South backs just terrorised them. They absolutely terrorised them.
They went wide, they made metres. They went up the middle, they made metres. Damien Cook has been on this since they said he was dusted after one below par game in round one.
Yeah.
Start saying that about some Sharks players, please, because he's really got up.
Campbell Graham just does not stop working for that Rabbitohs team.
Fantastic, mate. He isn't in the Origin discussion, but
he should be. Yeah, there's some centres being mentioned at the moment. It's like, if I need to pick a guy who can score a try and defend for 80 minutes, Campbell Graham is probably going to be one of the ones for me. Let's talk about history, mate. The first 2-point field goal was kicked in over 60 years or something.
That was incredible too. He lined it up. You could see it coming.
You saw it coming.
And then boom, right down the middle.
Let's talk about Latrell Mitchell.
I'll talk about Latrell Mitchell all night.
Mate, he took that kick, four guys on him, and he's still just... Mate, his turnaround has just been absolutely phenomenal. I couldn't be happier for the way he's playing.
He's a genius. He was the best centre in the game. Took a real punt, backed himself to go play fullback for the Bunnies. That was the one spot they probably lacked. They don't anymore.
Nah, and is Latrell a shout for Origin now?
Oh, look, he'll play centre. Absolutely. He's got to be there. I don't think Teddy's Teddy, of course.
Yeah.
But if Teddy goes down, Pappenhausen and Latrell,
where do you go?
You can't go wrong.
Probably for Origin, you need strength and power.
Yeah, you go on Latrell.
You are going
Absolutely. Good game. Fun game.
Yeah, fun game. A game that was really dire until the last minute.
Oh, it was an awful game, and I was trashing it. And, of course, it had one of the best finishes of the season.
The Seagulls 13, the Warriors 12. Before the game, it's announced that Adam Fanua-Blake probably will not play another game for the Warriors this season, which is a huge loss for them. I didn't think it was going to be enough to lose to Manly, but gee, they just turned up.
They did. All the players that we were probably a little bit harsh, I think they deserved it last week, stood up. Cherry Evans was very good, kicked the winner, as he does seemingly always. Look, it wasn't a great game, as we mentioned.
But it was every time Manly dropped the ball, you're like, the Warriors are going to punish him surely this time, and then they've just returned the favour.
Yeah, it was.
That was a classic Brownie coach team.
Yeah.
Horrible discipline, horrible handling, lose at the death.
There's the positivity's gone right out the window.
Yeah, good.
Mate, I would argue that all of the Warriors' goodwill that they built up last year, saving the competition, is gone because they lost to Manly, and they just cost me so many jokes.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Absolutely, I'm with you on that one. The Panthers 30, the Raiders 10. Probably the biggest talking point out of this is not how spiteful it was or how many push and shoves. But Penrith fans trying to claim the Viking clap.
It's been done at a grand final.
At a winning grand final. Yeah.
So
Michael Ennis did it better than your fans. To the Raiders fans,
like, by all means, it's pretty funny, and I did like the disrespect. But
what did you think of Stephen Crichton trying to get Joseph Tarpanay into the Panthers celebrations?
I didn't love it. I thought it was terrible sportsmanship. He was never going to miss a game.
For someone who built their entire career around terrible sportsmanship, I thought it was funny until the fight nearly broke out and nearly broke the fence at Penrith.
Look, it's going to be forgotten, and it's like $1,500 fine, whatever. It was pretty funny.
It was.
But Tappaney's, he's minding his own business. He's standing there looking away, and Crichton puts his arm round. Tappaney pulls away, and he grabs him and gets in his face.
It's not as if Tappaney hasn't been a scumbag on the field before, though. Look, so it kind of deserved it.
Fair play, but probably not what you want to see from...
I will say this, and he does it all the time, but Jack Whiten was outstanding in a losing team.
Yeah, he was really good. Scored that first try. They look good, Canberra. It started. Couldn't wrestle momentum back, though. No. That could be really...
Yeah, Penrith's forward pack literally took the Raiders. The Raiders, the biggest thing about them this year has been their pack, and the Penrith forward pack took it away.
They did. Fisher Harris was fantastic.
I'll give you a mate Isaiah as well. He stopped it. Anytime Canberra got some momentum, he stopped it.
For me though, Brian Toto.
Yeah,
he is the most unassuming bloke you'll ever meet. Yeah. He's a weapon. He's taken hit ups that front rowers would be proud of. Every set.
Tigers fans got really, really defensive in the preseason about people saying that Toto was a better winger than Norfoluma, and they were saying, well, how could he be because he's 5'9"? Well, he can defend. and he can run, and he can catch, and he's awesome.
Yeah.
So,
and he's not a terrible tweeter either.
Yeah.
So I think,
and he doesn't play for the Tigers.
He doesn't, mate.
Yeah,
Toto,
Brian Toto is the best winger in the comp.
And your mate Staines.
Not named Brett Morris. Oh,
couple of tries again.
Cheers, took him out of my Supercoach team as well.
Yeah,
Thanks,
comes
Charlie.
from Michelle's patisserie into the try scoring. He's a freak.
He's got 10 in 6 now or something. Yeah, it's horrible.
This was a fun game too.
Yeah, speaking of horrible games or horrible teams, the Titans 42, the Knights 16. I think that scoreline flatters Newcastle.
It certainly does. I have to say that AJ Brimson, love the bloke. He absolutely bodied Kalen Ponga and puts him up by like 30. Ponga got one, did this to Brimson, and Brimson's like, mate,
yeah, come on,
game's over. Like, I know we were still in the 1-1, but I mean, Brimson won.
Yeah, I've got to say, I was sitting with some friends watching this game, and one of the blokes in the team had this multi on, and it was awful. It was an awful multi that nearly came off, and he had everything Knights, but Philip Sammy's injury cost him.
Oh, that's no good.
He needed Philip Sammy like 100 metres or something.
Yeah, and that's very unfortunate. Another fun game.
Yeah, it's always fun watching the Knights get handled. So.
It was.
And it'll be more fun next week as well.
Fingers crossed.
Not a fun game. Roosters 26, Sharks 18. Fun for about 65 minutes until our halfback decided he actually wasn't a good footballer and his true colours shone.
You don't poke the bear.
No.
Do not poke the JWH bear.
But even after that, Chad was playing so well, and then he just has his brain snaps. He has his brain snaps, and mate, letting a kid who just had a shower to get 70 kilos run through you.
That was awful. I can't speak any longer because we've got a reputation to uphold. But wasn't the happiest Saturday night ever. Put it that way.
It's just awful watching him play. It's just it breaks my heart.
But the Dogs scored some points, so that was good.
Yeah,
but Melbourne scored way more points.
Yeah.
So. I think we've covered that game. Moving on.
Speaking of fun games, the Tigers 30, the Cowboys 34. Wow. How do you lose this game to that Cowboys team?
This Cowboys team.
Talk to me.
They were 1-17 was named, and you're like, it's a pretty bad side. You take Tom Malolo out. You take what's his face out.
You take your right hand out. You take your left hand. You take every hand out.
They ran a side out that would have been $6 million under the $7 million salary cap, and they absolutely took the Tigers apart so much that the Tigers fans booed their own team off at halftime.
Mate, there are Tasha Gale teams that would have dusted that Cowboys side off.
They just every try they scored though
it was pathetic,
ridiculous. Like that's enough. Tigers. Do something about it if you don't like it.
No, don't do anything else, please. The first half you couldn't wipe the smile off my face. I'm tweeting away like a menace. The second half I was getting a bit scared. Do I have to delete this? Am I going to end up on NRL tweet? No, I'm not. The Tigers didn't let me down.
Have worried, mate. Game on the line.
Luke Brooks stood up.
Wow. Good fun. And then the game tonight.
Yeah.
This is a bit of a turn up.
I don't know. Was this the upset of the round?
No, because only one team can beat this Dragons team, the Sharks.
Yeah, fair play.
I'd say the Warriors was the upset of the round because no one loses.
Para 12, Dragons 26. Adam Clune,
he's a freak.
He played really well. Corey Norman played well again.
Are we willing to admit Matt Duffy probably isn't as bad as some are saying?
Yeah, I like Matt Duffy.
Yeah, me too.
Are we going to admit that we got it wrong with Hook? He can coach.
Yes. No, Matty Elliott is doing an amazing job as assistant coach. Check him out on the change room, actually, down below.
Yeah, that's fair. That is fair. But
Matty Elliott.
But I mean, Hook, for everywhere he's been, he's had some pretty good results. And he knows how to get... And I mean, we laugh that he brings all these Broncos players in, but they're doing more now than they were at Brisbane.
They've been real good. The only problem is that Milford's already been linked with the Dragons. Don't do it. Don't do it, Hook.
You've got Corey Norman. Just keep him.
Matty, don't do it.
Do you keep Corey Norman on a rolling 1 year deal until he falls out of form again?
Yes, absolutely.
He's really good.
1 year contracts are the key. They found it. Stick to it.
Corey Norman.
Terry, top sporter back, and so are our tips and first try scorers.
We've been on fire.
Amazing week last week.
If you followed us, you probably would have won some cash. I don't know.
$400, I think we're standing at. I'll put that on Twitter later. I'm pretty sure it's $400.
Yeah, cool.
Game of the round: Broncos Panthers. No. Okay. There you go.
But I am going to pick the Panthers to win this game convincingly. I don't care. It's up in Queensland. They're going to do it.
This has got 13 plus written all over it.
13 plus, and the Carpenter is actually going to do us a favour. And he's going to score the first try in the first half and the second half.
The second, he might score the last one as well. He may set a new record this week. Charlie Staines, 4 tries, 5 tries, 6 tries. Who knows?
And Brian Tyler is probably a chance to run for over 300 metres.
Yeah, I'm not overly excited about this game. That's very sarcastic.
Yeah, it's a way to ruin your Thursday night. Probably a good way to ruin your Friday afternoon is tuning into the Knights Sharks. This could be any kind of game as well.
Could be. Bradman Best is back for the Knights. It looks like that makes that clash
a little bit harder for us, but. I'm gonna tip the Sharks on this one. I'm gonna tip the Sharks 1-12. Who have we got first try scorer?
I think Jesse Ramian he said he feels like he owes Cronulla after suspended, not playing overly well the other night. Plus, I think he'd be pretty keen to stick it to Newcastle, given the way he left the club.
Yeah, and he was terrible against them last year.
He was. This is a game Cronulla need to win.
Should win.
And Callum Ponga should really watch out for Wild Chad Townsend.
Hopefully, he's not playing.
That'd be even better.
This is the game of the round. This is absolutely the game. It's just crept up on us, hasn't it?
Undoubtedly. I'm really excited for this.
Yeah.
Usually the 6 o'clock game's kind of being a Sharks game, it's a little bit up here. But if we could skip it and go straight to this, yes,
Storm
please.
versus Roosters. Oh my god! And they've had some classics played in other locations. Remember they played that game at Adelaide Oval.
They do. The field goal's going from 40 metres. Latrell and I think Cam Smith might have kicked one or
Cronk.
Cooper.
It was Cooper. Yeah.
It's just freakish good football. I think that this will shut a lot of people up in terms of every game's a blowout. I think this one could be 24-22 or something ridiculous.
Who are you picking?
I'll go the Storm because Harry Grant's back and now they're at full and they are at home. If this was at the cricket ground, I'm tipping the Roosters. I think they'll just edge it.
I'm going to go the Storm 1-12. Cam Munster for first try. He's just going to let everyone know that he's one of the best halves in the game.
Their halves are going to dominate the young halves. This game.
Yeah, I can't wait for it.
Sign me up.
I honestly can't wait for it. Then we have 3 o'clock on Saturday.
The come down game. It should be good for Supercoach, so I'm looking forward to that.
Seagulls versus Titans. I am going to pick the Titans to ramp up their for and against and take this one 13 plus.
Tommy Turbo could be back though.
Don't care.
That
Manly team's awful.
It is. They're coming off a win. I don't know if they can do it again. Who's scoring first?
Corey Thompson.
Yeah, fair call too.
And the value bet, Corey Thompson 2 tries.
Absolutely. You got to watch Fafita though. He's running at some pretty ordinary second rowers and centres.
I mean, it doesn't matter where he is on the field. He's running at a pretty ordinary team.
Look, that's true.
It could honestly be like Nelson playing gridiron on The Simpsons, where he just picks someone up and
runs with him. Get on Fafita 2+ tries. This could be fun.
And the next game,
Rabbits
13 plus.
Who scores first is the only real question here.
Campbell Graham.
Love it.
Yeah,
love it. Any of that back 5 for me.
Yeah, he'll stroll through
Campbell Graham.
Yeah, and I like the value bet anyone 1-5 for South for the try.
Fantastic.
Raiders versus Eels. This has the makings of a good game. If the Storm Roosters game wasn't, this would probably be the game of the round.
Both teams coming off pretty disappointing losses, to be honest. Both want to send a statement. Fingers crossed they turn up because this could really go big.
The thing that I like about this Raiders team is when they bounce back, they usually bounce back in a big way. So I'm going to get on the Raiders 13 plus.
That's true. I feel like Parramatta may come out and score the first try through Sevo, and then I'm feeling Canberra. There are a lot of negatives in tonight's game with Parramatta that we sort of guessed were there. Hasn't been discovered yet, but I think tonight may have.
The one criticism of the Raiders at the moment is when they start losing momentum, they need to learn how to get it back. I think they'll do it. As you said, we've picked Sevo for the first try. Canberra to run home.
Sunday afternoon footy's back, Terry. The 2 p.m, my favourite time of the week.
I do like a 2 o'clock game of footy. I don't like the teams playing. Dragons versus Warriors. I don't think it's going to be an entertaining game at all. I think the Dragons are going to boost their for and against up just to keep being the early pre-season premiers. Corey Norman, first try scorer.
Look, I can't disagree with anything you said there because you're a genius. But the Dragons, if they're going to lose a game, it's going to be a game like this.
This Dragons team, though, to me, in the early rounds, has got enough discipline to get over the Warriors team. And the Warriors are showing now that the cracks are in. They've got some injuries. They don't have the depth that they thought they had.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm going to tip the Dragons to win and win convincingly.
Yeah, fair call.
I almost don't want to review this game. Dan, there's a pretty good market for this one.
Look, in terms of first try scorer, see what no try scorer is paying and get on it.
Yeah, or a Valentine Holmes field goal for first points.
There you go,
that's gotta be
1-0.
paid,
It may happen.
Or a 40. Val's got a 40 metre in him.
He does. I'm going to go Val first and only try scorer, and I'm not looking forward to this game.
I'm not looking forward to this game at all. I'm going to pick the Cowboys in all seriousness to go 13 plus on the Dogs.
Me too. I think
anyone should go 13 plus on the Dogs.
Are they going to win a game this year?
No.
Fair enough.
I don't see who they can beat. The only way that the Dogs are going to win a game, Dan, is Origin depleted.
Yep.
Or, like,
Rainy,
seriously,
disgusting.
everyone falls off the bus. Or they beat the Cowboys.
Go the Doggies.
Hey guys, thanks for watching another episode of Rugby League Outlaws, brought to you by ZeroTackle.com, LeagueUnlimited.com, the Inappropriate T-shirt company, Top Sports, brought to you by Punctured Media as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube and everywhere we are on the socials. Don't forget to trash me and Dan in the comments. Dan,